is the year 2207 of the Reclamation Era, and the Earth as we know it is no more. Centuries of warfare, industrialization, climate change, and rapid ecological shift have seen the home that humanity has known warped, shifted, and changed in ways it cannot come back from. Yet humanity, as it always does, clawed itself back from a near apocalypse and has built itself back upon the backbone of a new world. But with that new world comes many of the same problems: ideology, hatred, misunderstanding, marginalization, and of course, conflict. Thus, we find ourselves neck deep in the latest of the Millennium Wars, a nearly 200-year spanning series of conflicts between two embroiled factions. On one side, the Heptarchy of Metria, a religious faction that believes solely in progress, unity, and the collective. It will do anything to achieve scientific progress, technological advancement. At their beck and call are the Sleipnir legions, a near endless host of AI-controlled war machines, tactically focused, strategically coordinated, and seemingly invincible in the battlefield. On the other side of this war lies the People's Republic of Vicatria, a nation made of many different peoples, all united under the rule of the Arte peoples, who subjugate and maintain control over three individual cultural groups, collectively called the Eastern, Western, and Southerners. To battle, the PRV's Grand Army sends in its mobile assault infantry. Warriors clad and sheathed in 28-ton, story-tall humanoid figures of warfare and destruction. The Type 22 frame, effectively called the Grasshopper. Using these, the PRV push back what seems to be a war that threatens their existence. Or mayhap, it is simply humanity's endless desire for conflict, spilling on and on and on. Thus, we join a small scene. It is in the first few months of the year, though the years tend to blend together these days. The war has been difficult, though it has not been impossible. And each of you has seen many things in recent years. Thus, we find ourselves not too far outside of the front lines of the central conflict zone, at a base a few miles from a small town. It is an even afternoon, calm and quiet, a welcome change from the front lines. Your last conflict was brutal. The fighting was harsh, and almost no units in your division took no casualties, save for one. In particular, your lance lost one critical component: your coordinator. The individual who oversees and, commands your squad in battle was flattened by an artillery round. You all were in the middle of brutal fighting. A bright red lance of heat rounds, plasma artillery from a juggernaut, pierced straight through the canopy of his command craft. The explosion was brilliant. The scream cut quickly. You can't imagine any part of them survived. The debrief was quick, and you all were mostly told to return to base, get some off time, that you'd be gathered soon for inspection and for further discussions of what to do with your lance. What that means could be anything, but right now, let's focus on the small things. I want to know, for one of you, whichever one feels comfortable starting off, where are you on the base right now? What are you up to? And much, much more importantly than that, who are you? Whoever feels comfortable, start it up. Take it away.
So my character is Violet Aries, and she is in her workshop on base. Well, it's not her specifically, but she kind of claimed it. This is her little happy place. Music is blasting. She's got short, shaggy purple hair and dark red ruby eyes. Um, she's working on this newest program to upload into her very Frankenstein mech suit as it is adapted from with whatever technology she happened to get from this latest encounter. Uh, she's always got a tool belt and beat up busted leather gloves, and whenever she's in this space and she's focused on something, she wears a hat that says "Listen to me." Um, yeah, and she's just toiling away at this thing, not really distraught at the loss of their coordinator, because she never really liked the guy. He was an ass.
Happens.
That's how it goes.
Doc, it's mostly quiet in the hangar right now, save for your blaring music, of course, obviously.
Of course.
The other mechanics who are in their own workspaces in the hangar are already preoccupied refitting, retrofitting, and slapping on parts to mechs because, well, that's what you were here to do anyway. And so you mostly have the space to yourself, honestly. And I guess what I want to know is, how did last battle go for you specifically? And what do you plan on doing since you've been working probably about a few hours now? So maybe you're thinking, might be a good spot for a break? What are you up to right now?
Well, my last program decided to fizz out after the third day, so I got to work on a new flight plan. I am not much of a mech pilot. I've been blessed with the mind to have this to have my suit pilot itself and handle most of the heavy lifting, but it did kind of fuzz up and overload on the third day of just the assault. So as far as my contribution to this last campaign, I do I do I will take the blame for some of the mishaps that befell some of the other Lances. That was my fault. I I'm working on it. I'm fixing it. There ain't no problem that can't be fixed. It'll be fine. Yeah, it's no biggie. Right. I should probably eat though. How long have I been here? Yeah. And then she'll just go off and go back to work instead of actually instead of actually going to get food.
Okay, I'm sorry I ran away. I had to go get a thing. I'll make up for it with this dog.
Oh,
Enjoy.
buddy.
Yeah, I'm a tinker.
A friend.
Had to get my take. Okay, so recap me real quick.
Oh, Violet is taking some of the blame of what happened to the other Lances because around the third day her AI overheated. Like,
Oof.
basically the CPU overheated, and so everything was kind of slow and like stuttery. It wasn't responding as quickly. So right now she's working on an upgrade, and I'm pretty sure she hasn't eaten in the past however long she's been here or however long we've been deployed here. She should probably eat some food, but instead of going to get food, she decided to go back to work until she won't eat until she fixes this problem.
All right. Doc, you're hanging out and you are working, and you notice that off to the side, as you've been, again, solely focused on your work, you can't really hear much that's going on around you because of all the noise of your work, obviously, and that kind of keeps you a little bit preoccupied. But as you're sort of moving about in this space, trying to make things happen, you're hammering away on a plate and welding it down, putting sockets into a bolt, puncture. Get the third one done. You hear a clink to your left, just off to your, like, over on your desk. It's a plate, a small tray of food. Looks like just a standard cafeteria slop, but someone definitely clearly just brought you some food. And whoever they were, they aren't sticking around. You can see them turned around. It's not hard to tell who it is from the back. You've probably seen them enough times. It's Switch.
Thanks, sweetie.
Someone's here to see you, by the way. Don't be too long.
Wait, who is it?
I didn't ask.
All right. So I'll take I'll wolf down the food and then follow and then try and figure out who.
So you are moving with Witch. Again, she's keeping that same calm, quiet. Soldiers are stopping and saluting her as she passes, but she just kind of just waves them off and doesn't say much. You're walking with her. She doesn't say anything for a while as you're moving down several hallways, and she just kind of quietly indicates, you're blaming yourself a bit too much. Accidents happen, you know.
Yeah, but they shouldn't. We work with machines. Machines are precision. Accidents don't happen.
Accidents shouldn't happen, but then again, neither should wars, right?
Well, I don't disagree with you there.
And yet, she kind of indicates all around.
Here we are.
So just roll with the punches, yeah?
Yeah.
She stops in front of a door, and she is indicating to that door, kind of like stopping there, like, this is the place. Go ahead and head on in.
So you don't know nothing about nobody behind this door?
Just a couple suits. I didn't ask questions.
Lovely.
I know we're due for inspection sometime today, but I don't think it's those guys. Too tight looked.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I'm gonna roll my eyes and then go through the door.
You open the door and you see a couple things. You see 3 figures in what look like black long coats with red trimmings on the upper collars and sort of the armbands and things like that. Each of them is sort of sullen and focused and very, very quiet looking as they directly address you. There's also another figure in the room already there. The other figure in the room is someone you certainly know. In fact, it's another member of your Lance, actually. Cheatin', before we cut back to this scene and find out what's happening with you two, as you walk in the room and see what look like 3 military intelligence officers sitting at a desk and facing in a room, waiting for you and, well, your other squad mate, who's already there. But before we check in on that real quick, actually, you know what? That's a great way to circle. Let's actually cycle all the way around and then we'll check on that real quick. So, let's do you next. Cheatin', why don't you walk me through your day? What's today been like for you before you ended up at this spot?
Well, Arth or Tilin, she first spent the morning doing her blade meditations, just going through the motions, doing her kata, internalizing her own code. And as she went off towards the hangar, actually, where she had stashed some, say, salvage scraps, spoils from the battlefield for her dear milady, she was intercepted by someone.
It's a nameless pilot from somewhere else in the Lance. You don't recognize, or somewhere else in the division. You don't recognize them. In fact, they're not even a pilot. I'm sorry. They're actually just support staff from somewhere else in the division. They approach you and just, excuse me, mate. Keaton, sorry. There's someone in an office looking to see you. I think they're from MI.
I see. Which office?
Military intelligence? They didn't really say. Codes look like research and development, but I couldn't really tell you.
I see. Thank you very much for bringing me this message. Could you tell me where they need to, or where I am meant to be now?
I'll walk you there if you need me to.
It would be much appreciated.
Not a problem. You would notice immediately, Arth, and it's not something that's uncommon. In fact, most of the other soldiers around here do this to you. He keeps a good 7 feet from you. He never approaches closer than about 7 feet from you. And the moment you begin to try to walk, he steps backward. Like, tries very much directly to keep that 7 feet distance between you, no matter how you guys are traveling.
Yeah. Arth has actually golden color eyes. It's a slightly different from, just like a little bit different shade from her usual tone. And you can kind of see them narrow just a little bit. She settles. Goes back to following this random support staff, giving them like a bit of a respectful thank you for your hard work.
They answer as you turn a corner and stop in front of a door, and they say, "The hard work's all on you ghosts. I'm just tank division, 18th specifically. And as far as helping you, well," they kind of point at the door and say, "Anything for the Maiden of Death," which is a name you'd know other soldiers call you kind of frequently.
Yeah, she purses her lips just a little bit. We appreciate every bit of help that you can give. Thank you.
The soldier quickly scurries off, like just immediately moves off as fast as possible. And as you open the door, you see, again, similarly to what I mentioned previously, 3 black-coated individuals with red around the rims and armbands of their jackets, sitting there perfectly quiet, waiting, and just say, "Welcome, come in. We're waiting for one more."
Sir. Just a quick salute and walks in.
And as we step away from that scene, we still have 3 others to check in on, yes? Who's feeling bold? Wonderful. Mika, where are you today? What have you been up to since being back at base? And again, much more important than that, who the hell are you?
So, Mika, also Neon, has found what amounts to the library, so mostly it's the random pile of books that people have thrown in because they've finished it and are now no longer reading. Because they know that this is a quiet place to catch a nap without having to get in trouble for being in her bed. So she has a book propped up, another one, like the largest book she can, propped up, kind of like you did in high school, put up, sleeping behind that, with another book that is actually something they're trying to read, but has fallen asleep, face down into the other book.
Interesting.
So basically, you might see like the end of her hair, which is kind of a dusty rose pink. It used to be more vibrant, but we've been on the field for a bit, and it's just starting to fade like crazy. And again, dust and dirt is kind of a thing that exists. So you might see like the top part of their hair just kind of sticking over the edge of the book, the vertical one. And it is completely not regulation cut or styling, and they don't care. Let's see what else. So yeah, that's where we'll find Nika, just asleep in a book.
I see. Because there's a very small, what you kind of call the library can barely be called that by any metric of the imagination. It's a corner of the mess room. It's a corner of the rec room, like where all the weights and things are, that someone just threw some shelves up on, and somehow some books got piled up over there over the past few months of deployment.
Yeah, like people like would get sent books and then, oh, I'm done reading this, just chuck it over there in that corner.
Yeah, you're
someone else deal with it. I don't have to clean it up anymore.
Actually, can you real quick roll me whatever skill you feel would be appropriate for noticing something? Not like a person, just a thing you would have. To see if you noticed a thing before you fell asleep.
Would that be human perception?
Nah, let's go with just like notice. They're just gonna call it like notice. I think. I don't know how this game works.
Awareness.
Awareness. Let's go with awareness. Roll me some awareness.
You got this.
I believe in you. How aware are you?
Modifier.
But not just base. 12. Yeah, actually, you know what? A 12 is just about high enough. When you were reading, you kind of just like, again, put yourself in the middle of whatever you were doing, picked up the book you were trying to read and started reading. Just before you nodded off, you noticed a piece of paper tucked into the back page, tucked into the last page of the book you're currently reading. Definitely not yours. You didn't leave it there.
Not my handwriting.
Obviously. Do you think you would have pulled it to look at it?
Yeah.
Sure. It's Neon. Where are you from? Are you Eastern, Southern, or Westerner?
Out of character, what's the difference between the different areas?
They are just three different cultural groups that are all completely distinct. What they actually are is entirely up to you guys because that's your call. But it's just a difference of like, would you be able to easily tell like how this is written and what it's in, like like what's in it?
Let's go. If it's completely random, let's go Western.
Western. In that case, you're in luck. So the scripting and dialects make it so that you can easily tell this apart. All people in the PRV tend to write in a common script, but there's some dialecting that happens in different places that can make it harder to read. Thankfully, this is clearly a Westerner dialect, so you're able to pick it apart pretty easily, and the wording is pretty simple. It's, Mateo, it's been entirely too long since I've heard from you. I pray things are well, that you're safe, and that the world hasn't taken you from me just yet. Things have been difficult at home without you. I yearn for the day I'll see you come home again. But until then, I will be keeping the stars in my sight, hoping you see the same thing. With your lovingly yours, Esmeralda. You just found someone's love letter.
Do I know Mateo?
You know what? Do you?
I hope he wasn't part of the 36th.
Was he?
No.
Fair enough. But assuming you... Okay, I guess I'm asking more directly. Do you know Mateo?
Maybe, but only by call sign.
Okay, fair enough. In that case, you're thinking it's probably one of, like, 3 people, all of whom are, like, engineers, support staff, or, like, maintenance crew. No one that, like, was on the front line. So they're probably still alive? Probably. Really hard to tell these days.
I should go deliver this. Or did they already read it and then just left in the book? Either way, I think if I see it... What was their call sign again? Ratchet! There we go.
Mm.
If I see Ratchet again, I'll have to give it to him.
There's... So you're in your corner of the rec room having, and you thought like, all right, when I see Ratchet, I'm going to make sure I get this to him again. Tucked it back into the book. You grabbed, or did you tuck it in the book, or did you keep it? Your call.
I think I put it back in the book because I'm keeping the book for now.
Fair enough. You put it back in the book, and you nodded off for your nap. Not a problem. And we resumed the present moment of you napping, enjoying your peace and quiet. When you're kind of lightly jostled by some ruckus in the rec room, it's never fully quiet in here. There's always soldiers looking for some downtime, looking to throw a ball or lift a weight or two or throw something. Who knows? Whatever the case, you're kind of woken up to a slightly more commotion than more, as well. An engineering team is currently in the rec room, just hanging out, minding their business. And in fact, I'm not even going to make you roll for this. It's the team you were probably thinking to go look for when you were thinking about looking for Ratchet.
What? What? Oh. Hey, Ratchet?
One of them turns around, looks at you. The look on his face does not look pleased. What?
Over here. I think this is yours. Make sure it's folded.
They snatch it out of your hand, crumple it, and then pocket it. Ratchet died last mission, asshole.
I knew that. I think.
They kind of like look at you really harshly, and then actually give me a moment. They give you a really harsh, stern glare that then kind of shatters and just, sorry, were y'all close?
Not really. I found it in the book.
Yeah, Esmeralda, his ex-wife, would not stop talking about her, I swear. Left him 2.5 years ago, but man swore he's gonna go home, he's gonna see her all over again and make it right, and what a dreamer. Stupid.
Aren't we all?
Not anymore.
I mean, we're all sitting here dreaming for the end of this.
Yeah, love to go home for a year or two.
Where's home now anyway?
Me?
Or what does that mean?
You know, you think about it, I was gonna say I'm from down south originally, but I ain't seen home in a couple deployments. I don't know if I remember it anymore.
I don't know if I'd recognize mine either.
Such is the life, yeah? Someone's got to do the fighting. Guess it had to be us. They take out the note back out of their pocket, uncrumple it, and fold it back in half, and tuck it back into the book. Sorry for bugging your nap.
It happens.
And they kind of turn and go back to whatever weightlifting, bro-ish activities seemed like they were getting into with their engineering bros and in bro-like behavior. Anything else from you, Mika? Now that you're awake and, well, awake. You definitely would remember that there was supposed to be an inspection today. Whether you remembered that before you took a nap, up to you. But, yeah.
I think waking up, having the conversation, and then realizing, oh, right, I was supposed to have an inspection today, and then starts running.
You start making your way. As you're running, there's a group of 5 ghost pilots. You can tell because they're still in their undersuits that you blow past. You almost wouldn't have known who they were at all if not for the fact that one of them just went, "Geez, where's the fire?" And you recognize that voice as Witch immediately.
Hey, usually I'm the one causing it.
She lifts her finger like she wants to say something and just goes, "Point. Off you go." And you're allowed to run off. You still have maybe about an hour or so before inspection, so you got about enough time to squeeze a shower and maybe get in your dress uniform. You might miss a pin or two if you aren't lucky. We'll check on that in just a bit. Don't you worry. But before we do, we've still got 2 loves left to check in on, and not a lot of time to do it. So let's keep it moving. Who's feeling it? Take it away, love. Zima, it's been a while since your last deployment. Last mission went the way it went. How you're feeling about it is entirely up to you. So why don't you go ahead and tell us, 1, where are you right now? 2, what have you been up to since getting home from the front lines or getting back from the front lines? And 3, again, most importantly, who are you?
You see, I imagine Zima is has sort of maybe been like standing in the same sort of like spot for maybe the past couple hours, not really doing anything. They've essentially been like keeping, it's like they're sort of keeping watch, but they're keeping watch in like a hallway. So it's sort of a natural sort of thing of like nothing else to do, so they keep watch. Zima has dark skin and has these markings, these like dark markings sort of all around her on her face that go down, but most of them are hidden because she's usually always wearing some sort of full bodysuit in some way, or some, like, she hasn't changed from what she was wearing maybe when she was deployed. She's still wearing her like outfit.
Something like that. That makes sense.
Yes.
Mhm.
She has white hair that are like pulled that are dreadlocked and pulled back into a sort of a ponytail. And these very deep silver eyes that are a little hard to stare into. But despite how cold they look, she always has some little smile on her face. And she is just standing at attention and waiting.
I'm assuming you wouldn't turn around, but you can hear 2 voices from a doorway, like just behind you, mumbling. Without having a roll, you can probably hear them close enough. You hear just, what is she doing? And one of them goes, nah. That's why they call her Streamline. You see, she streamlined the process of sleeping so efficiently, she just stands there, motionless, until she has to move again. It's impressive, really, if you think about it. And
I keep standing.
Yeah,
I do
no,
not move.
you're fine. Without moving, the other one just kind of goes, huh. Anyway, we got a special in like 45 minutes. We should probably get our dress blues on, yeah? And then was just like, I was planning on just trying to sleep through it and hope I could, hide behind the maintenance bench like I did last time. But
The second they say that, you see Seymour like suddenly like turns to look at them, and it's just sort of like, I don't believe that would be appropriate, Lit.
The one cranes all the way. So the one who was kind of inquiring about why you weren't moving is just like, yeah, that wouldn't be, and then leans over towards his friend and whispers something. And I'm gonna ask you to roll like human perception or something if you want to know, to get a sense on what they might have been saying.
Yep. Okay. What is it? Sorry?
Human perception is what I'll take.
Human perception. Ooh.
Perception, that is human.
Okay.
Another with a 12.
I'm surprised.
Look at that. You're doing great.
You.
So, with a 12, let me actually counter roll deception real quick. Oh, he nat one. Look at that. So yeah, he leans over and just says, okay, it's definitely creepy, but why is she kind of cute?
Appreciate the compliment. Thank you.
And he just speeds off down the hallway.
Oh.
His friend looks down at him, back at you, down at him, back at you, just... Yeah, that one's got a little bit of the frights. Last mission was real rough on him. I'm gonna go.
It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Uh-huh. and kind of just like wheels his way around and starts slowly scooting himself down the hallway.
See, after he leaves, Zima will pause for a moment and takes out this little notebook that she has in her pocket and will start writing things down. I will say, I believe that interaction went well today. They ran off, but perhaps that is something I should ask about at another time.
Oh, I love that.
And then and then they put the notebook back and then nod. And then they turn back around. And then they are we does somebody come for us for inspections?
Actually,
Okay.
very specifically, two things happen for you. The first person that comes for you isn't actually coming for you to get you for the meeting. They are a ghost pilot, actually. You can't immediately remember what Lance they're from, but their look is at least kind of familiar to you. They're off tawny tan skin, pulled back in a tight ponytail with two half bangs that kind of hang down behind their ears. They have a small, you assume tattoo perhaps, of like a star right here under their left eye. And they're just like, hey, Streamline, yeah?
It's me, yes. Hello.
What's up?
How may I help you?
Striker, I'm in 37th. I'm sorry, I'm in 36th. Your squad, or your lance mates with the quiet one, Facade, right?
Yes, I know Facade. They are my squad mate.
The hell is she like?
May I ask for another way for you to phrase that?
Like, what's she doing when she's not on the battlefield murdering people without turning her comms on ever?
Oh. I personally believe that she is a wonderful teammate. And a delight to be around.
So you trust her if you're, I don't know, say, had your back turned to her?
I would trust her potentially with my life.
Huh. I had $10 saying she killed somebody in her last platoon, but whatever.
And that's okay. I will make sure she knows.
No, that's not how this works.
Seymour starts taking out the notebook.
No, love, you're supposed to not say anything when someone gossips to you. That's usually how that works.
Oh, apologies. I will keep this a secret.
Uh-huh.
Can Facade walk up?
Of course she can.
Yes.
Just lean on their shoulder. Yeah, no one would really want me to know about anything like that, huh?
I can't roll for shit today. He jumps immediately. And since he rolled so low, Facade, since you're so close to his face, there's a noticeable tinge of pink to it. Hi. No, I was asking your lance mate here, what your preferred way of handling that third drill we ran over last time was, so I could know how to best coordinate my my sweeping fire with your move you do.
Yeah, apparently my preferred method is killing my platoon members. Or did I mishear you?
Nah, it's just all friendly squad mate banner, right? We're all soldiers here. It's a little like kill him with a joke, you know? Like kill him with comedy kind of thing.
But I don't believe I understand this reference. Can you explain it, please?
Yeah, I totally would. But hold on. What's that? I got my coordinators in my ear. I gotta. Yes, sir. On it. Be right there. And starts kind of backing their way out of there.
Oh,
watch your back. And Facade's just gonna wave.
Zima, you would definitely notice while you all do have small ear comms you use to coordinate with your coordinators in the field of battle, they weren't wearing theirs.
Could I have stolen his earpiece?
Sure.
perfect.
She'll just crush it under her heel.
That's rude.
Oh, I believe they may have needed that.
They shouldn't have run their mouth then.
How are you doing, last mate Facade?
I'm doing quite well. You know, all things considered.
Are you prepared for inspection today?
Of course. Always prepared for inspection.
Is there anything I may assist you with?
Not at all. Do you need any assistance?
No, not at all. I believe I have carried out everything I was told to do. Yes.
Well, good on you. Although, I think I should probably go clean the inside of my mech a little bit more before inspection.
Do you need help with that?
No. Very kind of you to ask, but I'm good. I'll meet you
Okay.
at the, wherever we're supposed to go.
Zima holds a hand up for a handshake.
Oh.
Facade will take it.
Oh, too cute. I love them.
I will speak with you later.
Of course.
And as
Turn back around.
as our camera slides away from the semi-awkward handshake, the camera briefly passes our two lever, our individual, quickly running away from Facade, who is checking their pockets constantly for their comm. But faintly, the camera catches a muttering of them going, "Fucking collateral creepos, I swear."
Creepos.
And with all of our characters now introduced, let's do the following things. Yeah, let's do the following things. This is how it's going to work. Actually, no. I don't think we got a good physical description of Facade, did we, actually?
Not really.
Let's go ahead and get that real quick, if you don't mind.
Sure. Facade is a taller woman. She's got kind of dark brown hair, sort of long. She's got a bangs kind of pushed to the side, kind of
Sorry.
goes down. Sort of well kept, but also there's like parts of it that look a little bit messier near the bottom, kind of like someone was brushing top, but not all the way through. She's got glasses and wearing a bomber jacket at all times, whether or not it's regulation. She's always wearing it. It's not. She doesn't really care. Like, her prowess on the field sort of speaks for itself. Yeah, she's got a small beauty mark on her left side near her mouth, but yeah, sort of always has this calm and cool exterior, and always kind of has like a half smile on at any given moment.
I see. Well, while we pan away from the GM looking respectfully, any case,
Pride Month, yo.
you know, fair enough. Listen, all right, with living life, living the dream. And any case, while I get myself together, so here's what's gonna happen. As we step away for a brief bit, I would like it if you all could quickly roll me a is it personal? Not personal grooming. Either personal grooming or wardrobe and style. One of those two skills, please. This is not how well you look, literally. This is simply how well do you maintain your perfect uniform for an inspection.
Oh, no, then this is perfect.
What do we got?
Yikes.
All right. I see a 7, a 13, a 12, a 15, and are we missing one? A 10. Okay, well, so here's how we're gonna do this then, because it's 8:30 right now. So here's how we're gonna do this. We're gonna separate away for a brief bit, take a moment, let you guys catch your breaths, get some water, whatever, reset. We'll come back into a quick little scene of your inspection, get you guys off to your combat drill, get our plot resolved, and get us right the hell out of here so we can get moving on with our day. We'll be right here. You all touch that dial or that browser, audience who is live there now and not here when we're recording this. But you're great, and we love you a whole lot. And you there in chat, you are real cute today. So take care. See y'all in a bit. Bye. Mwah. And we return to our preliminary first, I guess just first episode of our pilot episode. It's fitting, right? Our pilot episode of Stardust Ghost. It's like
Now who's telling puns?
You know what? I hate myself. Where we last left off, I hate you. Where we last left off, our ghosts, our pilots, had endeavored to take themselves around and engage in their daily lives. Were doing various things. And in fact, 2 of them had a suspicious meeting with some military intelligence officers. And don't you worry, the content of that meeting will be revealed at a later date, I assure you. What's more important, though, is that you all had to get to inspection. In fact, your entire division is currently in the middle of the hangar, lined up, lance by lance, support staff in the back, tank crews on one. Your coordinators, those of you that have them at least, are behind you, and you can already see new recruits or, moved over squad members, people you haven't met before. Maybe some of you have seen some of them before, coming over and, checking their uniforms and lining up with their new squads as the division is being reinforced. Much more importantly, however, there is a single individual in also another trench coat. A lot of trench coats around here. This one's brown, though, not like the typical black of the MI officers earlier. This is a brown trench coat with that same dark red armbanding and things all around it. You would all know this to be sort of like from the officers' cadre. They are kind of like the upper echelon of the military. And probably from the Revision Bureau, meaning they're kind of the people whose whole job is to go around and do exactly what this guy's doing right now, which is just walking up and down the line, looking at every mech, every tank, every piece of equipment, every weapon, every ammo storage unit, every uniform. And so based on those personal grooming and or wardrobe and style rules, in whatever order you feel comfortable, why don't you go ahead and tell me how well you did on keeping yourself in ship shape for uniform inspection? You can either decide to go wherever you feel comfortable, or I'll roll. I see a hand.
Yeah. Well, as she's just the one thing before we get there, as she walks by that person from that Lance, the other Lance, the one who's bad talking her, she'll give him a wink. Like,
Stryker, who is stationed right in the middle of 36th Lance, 36th Lance, as they are 36-3, cuts their eyes away immediately, and you can see one of the squad mates chuckling at them.
I'll flick a piece of his communication thing that I crushed at him.
He looks down, looks up, and starts to roll up a sleeve. You can see a squad mate next to him just elbow him really hard, and falls back in line into his, military saluted stance and glares at you as hard as possible.
Bye-bye. So Facade is wearing her, the standard uniform. It's done pretty nice. There's like a couple wrinkles in it. It's not quite tucked in, but probably the part that sticks out the most is she's got a bomber jacket that should not be part of the outfit on top of the outfit. Just like I don't do it because it would look very dumb, but she's got like not the arms and the sleeves. It's just like hanging over the shoulders, and she's just standing not too stiffly, just a little too relaxed.
The inspector is walking by you. They stop. They turn. You could see a little pin that just says Millennium Era on their tag. They glare at you, look you up and down, kind of like crease like a wrinkle in your shirt, put a finger up to your shoulder, and flick the jacket off of it. Not regulation, pilot. And they just they start to turn. As you they stop and look back, and then turn away again, just and keep moving. You can definitely tell they don't look happy.
Yeah, she'll pick it up and drape it like cool guy, like
one shoulder kind of cool guy. Yeah, okay, solid. I'm mad. They don't appear to turn back around and notice. If they do, they just are too tired to bother with you anymore, honestly. Who's next?
How high's his ranking?
Wait.
They're probably easily, like, if not lieutenant, probably, like, commander? So decently high ranking. Probably pretty high up there.
Okay. Interesting.
If you'll allow me, actually, Violet. So Arth is currently standing, like, looks around, is, like, sort of in parade rest, has basically, like, the suit looks almost immaculate. However, Arth has some, like, there should be some pins that are on Arth's suit from, like, the various, let's say, engagements that she's survived, and she's kind of, she's completely forgotten about all of them. It's just got, like, her rank insignia. None of those pins are on there. But she's actually fussing over Violet right now, and it's just like, "Milady, you need," like, it's just like, trying to, like, rub a little bit of grease stain off of the, like, like, just, like, off the neck a little bit, right? Like, has completely given up on trying to, like, get Violet to, remove the gloves, and is just, fussing.
Yeah, like, Violet will stand there and take it for most part until you start, like, trying to smudge off the stuff on her cheek. It's like, "Honey, sweetie, I got it. I'm fine. I'm fine, sweetheart. It's fine. We can just we'll deal with it later. It's great." She's
Milady,
like,
but the inspectors just...
"Yeah, well, he can suck a nut and, like, move on."
As you say that, a figure passes behind the two of you and stops. I'm assuming, Arth, you snap back into attention?
Yeah, it just, like, straight up, like, like, perfect parade rest, and it's just...
The inspector...
I tip my hat.
The inspector first looks at Violet, kind of ups and downs, and then leans in. "The folks in MI already have their eyes on you. You're aware of that, yes? Maybe don't tip the barrel too much."
They only have their eyes on me because I'm so good looking.
The inspector kind of leans back over to one of their kind of compatriots, whispers something, and then looks back over. They look over then at Arth, up and down them, and just, "You're missing battle on us, soldier."
Arth, like, blinks, takes a look at their shoulder. "Oh, my apologies, I've..."
The inspector turns away from Arth, and that very much like, "I'm turning this into a bigger speech" kind of thing, and just, "You all fight for this nation with pride, with dignity. Every battle you survive is a trophy worth carrying. Those pins are a measure of that respect. It's a measure of why you fight for this nation. Remember that."
Excuse me, Mr. Inspector. Just because they're missing doesn't mean she's against regulation. So, just saying.
The inspector will cut their eyes over and just, "That is correct," and cut their eyes back. And I think we have exactly 2 other people left to check in on as far as uniforms, yeah? Whoever feels ready.
I want to go last, but there's reasons for this.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, I'll go then. I'll go.
Hit it, Zima.
So you see, Zima. I can't do it in the chair. Hold on.
You got it. You got it. You got it.
Okay, Zima is the epitome of maybe has done almost too much preparedness for this. They've had this routine whenever an inspection is coming up. They always make sure that everything, they spend the morning and then they spend the night. They'll prepare their uniform, even though they're wearing it throughout the day. They prepare it and they have it cleaned. They have all of their any badges or things they have them shined, and they practice making sure it's because they know personal hygiene or how they look is not a problem to them personally. It's more the human contact or social aspect of it. It's okay, I need to look them in the eye, I need to make sure I don't move, I cannot speak. And then it's something they keep, that's the thing they mainly practice. So they look pretty how you say not overdone, but they definitely put in effort, essentially, which is something that sort of shows in all their things.
The inspector just
They're really trying.
Mm-hmm. The inspector faces you, once as you up and downs you once, twice, a third time. Looks at the companion. They just print this one from the factory. And then looks back. Well done, soldier. At least there's some discipline around here, looking at the rest of your lance. Speaking of...
Oh.
I think at this point, Mika comes charging in.
Oh no! Oh
One hand, they're trying to tie up, like, they've tied up their hair while running. They were buttoning up their uniform, also were running. So now it's slightly off by one button all the way down. Shoelaces are half tied. The shoes are still shiny. But, like, the boots are, like, half tied. And they're just running in to get into formation. And then stand there.
Oh, this is actually perfect. So, Mika, you're dashing in. And I mean, like, really, really dashing. And the rest of you who are watching Mika...
Oh, her hair is still slightly wet because she did take a shower in between falling asleep in the rec room.
As you're...
It's like, okay, I know I need to have an inspection. Gotta look good. Throws himself in the shower. So their hair's still slightly damp while this is happening as well.
As you're running in, Mika, we cut back briefly to the squad. You are all being addressed by your inspector, just noticing you're all down one, but as we're short on time, I'll make sure it should be known. 34th Light has a new commanding officer. 10 hut! And ask you all to kind of like salute real quick. And a figure is walking in behind them that kind of crosses from their back. And as they kind of come up to go, greetings, Mika smashes right into them, just bowls them entirely over. It's not pretty. It's not just, there's no recovery. It's messy. People are laughing. It's happening. The inspector's laughing, to be honest.
Because I've tripped over my own shoelaces.
Yeah, exactly.
Because as I said, they were half tied.
As Zima looks and just like, oh, sorry. No, go ahead, please. I just say Zima looks and is like, oh, Lance made Neon is here.
Inspector just says,
welcome.
Quiet. I'll leave you all two with them. And just turns and walks off. You can see them very clearly nursing a headache, though. Mika, you've been a soldier for a fair bit, yeah?
Yeah.
You're used to how the commanding officers tend to treat their soldiers, and it's a spectrum, but a very narrow one. So you're maybe almost a bit surprised when a pair of hands comes up to offer you assistance getting up, and it's not one of your lancemates.
Wait. I think Mika will blink a few times and take the hand.
The figure that helps
Sorry about that.
It's not a problem, I assure you. The figure that helps you up is dressed like you're any other coordinator here in the room. They have the standard military uniform with the high collared coat. They wear glasses of wide rims, and they have white hair tied in a ponytail, kind of pulled back very tightly and kind of scruffed up in a large bush behind them. What's most interestingly about them, and I really can't think of a better way to say this, is that their skin tone looks a lot different than any other coordinator you've worked with. In fact, if it wasn't for the fact that they're standing in that coordinator outfit, you wouldn't even think they were Arte. As you all are faced with an individual who, after helping you up, offers sort of the more officer's version of the salute with a hand over their chest and a half bow, and just says...
Mika does a proper salute.
Pleased to meet you all. I go by Seraph, and I'll be your commanding officer. But for the context, my real name is Tamir Cardelia. Which, several things about that strike you all as off. One, coordinators don't give their names. Ever. Which you can tell, because even the inspector's looking kind of weird. Even though they don't say anything about it. Two, that last name is striking you as real familiar. In fact, that name entirely makes sense. You're pretty sure this person's a part of the Cardelia dynasty, as in the family currently holding entire controlling rule of the entire PRV.
Oh.
I look forward to fighting alongside all of you. Please, tell me your names. Or your call signs, I suppose, is appropriate.
Commander Seraph, I am Streamline. It is a pleasure to meet you.
You as well.
Uh, it's like Seema's like looking around. It's like it was like they're trying to remember if they're supposed to do something next. They like glance like a almost the slightest panic look to Doc. But then
I'll
yeah.
step forward when like Zima looks at me. I'll step forward and be like, howdy, Doc, nice to meet you.
He nods a bit. Hello. It's great to meet you.
Right. So this one here will be you want to introduce yourself, sweetie? And I point to Art.
Is still in parade arrest, but recognizing that this person has actually bothered to give their name, actually gets out of parade rest and offers a bit of a slightly formal bow. Arthwivrus Tatsunori. You may call me Chilin.
He kind of quickly returns to Various as well and just like, at ease, soldier.
Switching into a little more formality, Mika goes, 216-436-03, Neon. Sir.
He takes a hand. Actually, before I answer this, and I want someone else to respond, to give their call signs. There's still one person left, obviously. While they're doing that, hey, can we check your DMs again?
Ooh.
Ooh.
No, go ahead. There's one person left to introduce themselves.
Fasat's gonna step forward and stick a hand out and say, Roxanne.
He
Also, Todd.
takes your hand. Charmed, honestly.
And then she'll go back to parade rest.
And he kind of faces you all with a look that isn't readable directly, I'd say too much. But looking at him, you'd notice a couple things. One, he's nervous. Incredibly so. So very, very nervous. Like, presentation day at school nervous.
We're all gonna die.
Secondly, he's young. Younger than your last coordinator, certainly, and maybe younger than most. Lastly, Mika, you're pretty sure you went to school with this guy.
The connections they're happening.
He kind of just settles in and just says, well, I'll spare you all any long introductions. Thankfully, we're not looking for any more new recruits, as your squad remained in mostly full combat readiness, save for your coordinator, right? He definitely, again, looks a little bit more nervous. I'll do my best to ensure that I keep you all alive. From what I understand, we're back on the push in the next week or so. You'll have a bit of downtime, and I hope during that time we can run some combat drills, learn each other better, and, I don't know, maybe become a bit closer as comrades?
Sure, sweetie. Whatever you say.
Seema's gonna raise their hand.
He looks over. Yes,
May I ask a question?
of course.
Is this your first time being a commander?
I graduated from coordinator school 3 weeks ago.
Coordinator.
Top of my class.
Understood.
Doc is gonna give Art a look. I was like, Right.
Well,
We'll do our best to keep you alive. is like sort of like a little bit whispered. It's like we'll do our best to keep him alive.
I don't have to
Benedict.
try.
looking forward to working with you, Seraph.
And you as well, Seraph too. From here on out, you are all Seraph Lance. You're dismissed for now. Get some rest. Recover. I'll see you all in the rec room for some conversation later, maybe?
Of course.
Not
I
likely,
will.
sweetie.
Oh, not likely.
I was speaking personally, Zima. You, sweetheart,
Oh.
you don't have to follow me.
Oh, okay. I will make a. I will be there
Good job.
if needed.
He looked kind of back and forth at that interesting bit of human interaction, or maybe not so human interaction. And
Human interaction.
And he kind of offers that kind of smile you give when someone does something awkward around you. You don't want to make it awkward. Just that. Seems like we all might have some kinks to work out. Yes.
Yes.
Gonna help with that?
He just kind of stares and doesn't say anything.
Something wrong, Facade? Do you need help with something?
Don't eat the poor kid.
Right then. I'm going to leave you all to your responsibilities, and I will check in with my commanding officers. Look for me sometime in the next afternoon or so. Till then, goodbye. And he offers one more, again, several very quick and not perfect salutes before hurriedly scooting his way off. And so, as we give ourselves a sort of space, we'll kind of fade out a little bit away from that scene. It's a few days pass. You all, unfortunately, despite what he offered, don't see Tamir again for a couple days. He doesn't reappear again immediately.
Facade scared him off.
Oh no.
I wouldn't bite much.
Yet.
Not unless
Hard.
he has.
But
Ooh.
after several days of redeploying, getting your squad ready and taking care of things, the new Seraph Lance, as well as the rest of 16th Division, is ready to redeploy. Each of you is geared up. You are preparing to get to take your mechs out, and don't you worry, we will literally start next episode with you guys describing your mechs and how they look. So that'll be the fun part here. But you're seated in. You are checking your cockpit as you checked multiple times. All your stations still look in order. There's a set of connectors in the back of your spines that link into several prods at the back of your chair. You know that once you lean back, you will fully tap into those, and lots of information, data, and energy will flood your brain. It's always very disorienting, and much more than that, it always comes with a feeling. It's distinct for each of you, and it's not your own feeling. It's like through the Geist system, you can hear your mech's voice, feel its feelings, almost. You settle into that remembrance, that comfortable connection, like meeting an old friend. As the hangar doors lift themselves open, first you hear chatter beginning to go up on the radio. Just, pilots, check your thrones. Reactors online. Weapon systems live. Motive drive stable. 34th Squad, or 34th Lance, prepare for departure. Ready on your go. And as they kind of, offer that, that last thing, you can see the large hangar door grindingly lift its way up, offering blaring sunlight towards all of you in this early afternoon. And so, in the order that makes the most sense, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hope you all remember your numbers. Go ahead and take us into the cockpit and let us know what your departure message is. If you forgot, Keaton, you're first.
Yeah. So Tian just sort of like leans back. This is Chilin. Seraph 1. Let's fly. Blast off.
your mech, which is already customized with enhanced motor systems and is already customized and specialized to move a lot faster than a standard Type 22, just starts taking off in loping strides. Your thrusters bursting and allowing you to kind of move already ahead of the pack. Next.
Seraph 2 facade launching. And she'll just go.
You slide out. Facade, you've been kind of getting used to the standard frame for a long enough time that you're able to just pilot straight out of the gate. You take off in a kind of long loping stride. Rifle strapped to your holster at the against your left arm of your mech. Shield strapped to your right. Booster still flaring and firing perfectly. Combat knife tucked in. You're moving out, and as you're moving out, you can see moving across from you. And you have to give me 1 second as I pull up this thing because I forgot a pilot's name real quick. Sorry, actually. As you're moving out, you see just outside of the hangar next to you, 36th Lance is deploying. And immediately as your HUD kind of functions like direct leads into your vision, so almost like in the corner of your eye, you see a quick tag light up as you look over and see 36-3 Striker, the person you were bothering earlier.
She'll keep moving, but keep an eye on that person.
While their mech's torso doesn't turn to face you, their left arm does come, or their right arm does come up, and the servos angle in, and the mech gives you a huge middle finger, a nice big middle finger.
Can the mech blow a kiss?
Absolutely. You don't really have a head per se, but you bring your hand up to the middle of your mech and kind of just lean into it and everything. You even open comms up for a quick little mwah, you know, it's... And you can hear a grumble as he cuts off comms immediately. Next.
Seraph 3, Neon, let's light it up!
You can hear the dispatchers groan a bit as you yet again exuberantly yell like an anime character and fire your thrusters up and burst off, you know. There's another Lance deploying across from you that you literally just zip around and across, and they're just like, hey! The hell!
As I settle in, I pull up like a remote control system because my mech is automated slightly differently than everybody else's.
Mm-hmm.
So as I situate my like screens and everything, I get comfortable and do Seraph 4, the dock is in, and then take off.
You can hear a voice chime throughout your cockpit. Systems nominal. Online, Doc. And just the larger, heavier frame of your enhanced Type 22 with this large combat arms just starts bulkily chunking its way out of the hangar doorway.
That's a girl.
Last one.
You see, Zima will very quickly, as if they were born for this, almost will get into position, and almost just as quickly as the second things are set up, they will say, "Seraph 5 Streamline, I am prepared for the mission," and they will leave.
You head out your mech. Honestly, the only one following the perfectly normal traffic lanes for departing in your mechs. So you're the only person that manages to leave with basically no problem or issue, effectively. As you all head out, you all hear entering into your comms. This is Seraph Command. I'm here with you all. And you'll see a large red and like dark red hovercraft kind of like float its way in, kicking dust and wind to the side as it falls in behind your squad. Your new coordinator, Tamir Cardelia, deployed with you as you are all moving. There's a large, massive, almost like a ship, except it's on land with huge treads under it, called a land crawler, that is handling most of your equipment and things, that's deploying along with your Lance as you and the rest of your division all begin marching off towards the front lines yet again. And we bring this tale, for now at least, to a close. See you on the front line, soldiers. We'll be back next time.
You're on my mind, keep going.